Third parak of Shabbos, which is what we're going to be doing, just to let you guys know, we're actually jumping into the deep end. It's considered one of the hardest areas in all of Shabbos. HaKirah. What?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm a big intellectual masochist, so I like doing things that are very challenging. Okay. The reason why I had to read the Rambam first, we're going to go back and read the Rambam later in a couple of weeks, but the reason why I had to you guys do it now is just to get a sense of what we're dealing with. Okay, so let's just get our terminology down. So, okay, the Shehiyah, Chazara, Kol Tzorcho, Machal Ben Jusai, Garif, Katan, Kira Tan. Okay, just basically reading the Rambam. Don't worry about the qualification, just the concept. What's Shehiyah? Heating things up when?
After Shabbos.
Before Shabbos.
Around before that.
Right, okay, so Shalom Pie, okay? No, don't use that as an example. That's a bad example. You'll see why.
Chicken in the oven.
Let's use, the example we're always going to use is
Chicken in the
steak.
oven.
No, steak, okay?
Well, I use chicken when you steak.
Exactly, okay? All right. So, Shehiyah means, what am I doing on Erev Shabbos? I'm taking my steak, I'm putting it on a fuel source, a heat source, and I'm heating it up so I can have what on Shabbos? Hot food. Okay. What does Chazara mean? A halachic term.
On Shabbos, putting it on.
Right, so the food is edible, right? Okay, the steak has already been cooked. It's in my refrigerator. I take it out and I put it on the heat source. Okay, obviously, okay. Let's say I took an uncooked steak, a raw steak, and I put it on a fire on Shabbos.
Sure.
That's not chazara. What is that?
That's cooking.
Which is right, bishul. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. All right. So if it's not cooked, I'm doing with the Yisur bishul. Okay. What's called tzorcho?
All it needs.
Which is what?
Edible.
So for now we're going to call it edible. Okay? We're going to change that definition later, but let's just call it edible for now. It's rare. Machav and jusai is what? So that's the shear of edibility. So machlokas. Is it half, a third? There's a whole machlokas about what machav ben jusai is, but the point of machav ben jusai is that there's a certain point when you're cooking the steak that now you say it's machav ben jusai, he was a robber, he would eat it. That's considered minimal edibility. Okay? Garf is
Sweet.
okay. So you took the embers, the coals, and you got rid of them. We just use machlokas is what you actually do, but you get rid of them. All right. And what's katum?
Put on ash.
Putting ash over the gechalim, over the embers. Okay. We're going to be using these terms like crazy, so you have to remember what they are. Okay. Again, so you have shehiyah and chazara are the main halachic concepts. Kol tzorcho is a modifier. Garf and katum is the other modifier. Okay, so just to start building like a conceptual framework here, you have your principles, okay, and the principles require two modifiers. The first modifier is the status of the food, okay. Second modifier is
Status of the fire.
the fuel source. Okay, those are going to be the two main modifiers of Shehiyah and Chazar. Clear? Okay, and Kira and Tanor, what's the difference between Kira and Tanor?
How the food's placed. Cookability.
No, the dispersing of the heat.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're not going to touch Tanner for a long time, so we're going to be focused on Kira. But when you think of Kira, our ovens today are Kiras. That's the only halacha thing I'll say. But a Kira is open. Okay, so the reason why you can be makel by Kira is because there's an opening here. If it were sealed, which a Tanner basically is sealed, then all the cools that exist wouldn't apply.
Our ovens are open.
Yeah, they always have a vent. Otherwise, you'd never be able to.
Oh,
Big problem.
Like
Okay.
that.
All right. The one thing I want to mention on the Rambam, which is the thing we're going to, not as a meta concept, but just to keep in mind, well, the Rambam's first line is the most difficult one. Mutar lahaskel b'malacha me'erev Shabbos, af al pi shehi nigmeres me'eleha b'Shabbos. Okay. What the Rambam's telling you, that's his Rambam. It's clear from the Gemara that it is mutar to begin a malacha on erev Shabbos. All right. Af al pi shehi nigmeres me'eleha b'Shabbos. All right. Meaning that the malacha is it's going to be completed on Shabbos. But what the Rambam's hinting to is what? Rambam's presenting a reality of malacha that exists in Erev Shabbos. Because what should you say? I should say, logically, when do I have to be concerned about malacha? On Shabbos itself? Right? Okay, you want to say Bnei Shmashos? I don't care. Let's say the time that the stars come out, from that point on, or sunset, from that point on, that's where Issa Malacha emerges. What do I have to worry about something before Shabbos is concerned? But yet, you see, there's some. It's going to be tricky how to define it, much later on, but there's some reality to malacha even on Erev Shabbos. Even Erev Shabbos. What?
Why not?
Right, so no, the Mishnah is Lamed Vav Amabeis and Shabbos.
We're not going to do the wrong.
No, you guys did it. Okay, so Kira Shisikua, go.
Right. Kira Shasikura Bikash Ubikvava
Top shell.
Top shell.
Stop. Saying that, simple idea, that you're allowed to use kash and gvava, right, which are basically two ends of the stalk. You can put your top shell on that fuel source on Erev Shabbos. Okay? Why? Well, look at Rashi. The first Rashi, Kira. Asuya.
Ke'en kedera. Nosnin kedera.
Okay, so what's a Kira?
Kira is type of oven.
Right, well, we know that already. Now, but look, what is he saying? He's saying it's like a big pot. Meaning what? Well, remember that the drawing I had before? Yeah, in other words, like this. In other words, a Kira looks kind of like this.
The Kira,
right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a big pot, right? So you're putting
pots inside the pot.
You're putting your pot, right,
inside the pot.
Inside this big pot. Okay. That doesn't mean it doesn't mean conceptually that's what it is. It's just saying, what is a Kira? It's like a big pot that's you can put a fuel source at the bottom. Okay.
Very nice.
All right. So that you're allowed to put on an Erev Shabbos. You can use kash and gvava. Okay. Why can you use kash and gvava?
Alright.
The Gemara doesn't say it, notice Rashi. But why can you use it? Okay, so I'm going to cheat and let you guys know because kash and gvava is a lower temperature. All right, burns quickly. We're going to get to that though. That's going to be a Tosfos. So don't think about kash and gvava for now, but just be aware, lower temperature. Next.
Alright.
One might think that would make it even less likely, more likely.
Wait. Begevis of eitzim.
Lo yitain ad sheyigaruth o ad sheyitain.
Esa afer. Okay. So now, afer. Afer is ayin. Afer is. Okay. So what's gefis and eitzim? That's what we're dealing with most of the time.
Eitzim is like eighth of tree.
Wood, normative fuel source. Okay. Wood, charcoal. I don't care. Normative fuel source. Okay. So you can only put the cooked item on a normative fuel source, right? If what? So either you don't remove the fuel source, okay, or you cover it with afer, okay. Just before even going on, because the Gemara never actually fleshes out gar from katam. Interesting. The Rishonim do a little bit, but just there's two questions, simple questions you can ask on that. One is better. Okay, Tamir's on the right track. You can see a little better. Well, it's one question. There's two questions you got to ask on this. Two easy questions. One is, what? Well, what does cutting do?
It lowers the temperature.
So what? What's the concern here?
Stoking. They get completely.
What's the concern? Stoking.
Why wouldn't you just remove the dirt?
You're gonna turn off.
Oh, well, that's the second question. Hold on. The first question is that. Thank you. The first question you have to ask is what does katum accomplish? Right? Who cares? So I lower the temperature. Now what? Is the thing still going to cook?
Yes.
Let's talk practically for a second, okay? I'm going to show you. No. I'm going to show you practically, okay? If you take gechalim that are, let's make up a temperature. The gechalim are what temperature?
200 Kelvin.
100 what?
Who cares?
That's not going to cook. But let's make it some realistic. 400 degrees. Okay, fine. 400 degrees. Now, let me ask you a question. One second. Let's say I take some ash and I put it over the embers. What's going to happen?
300.
No, 370.
It's gonna prevent it.
370, maybe 360. Yeah.
Prevent air flow from getting into the wood.
95.
Right, so it won't be as like it won't be strong, but still. But what the point is like this: will you really think it's nicker? And so far, okay, if I use your term you don't understand, let me know. But everyone knows what nicker is nicker?
Yes, sir.
Recognizable. Nicker means recognizable. Do you really think you're going to notice that difference in the food? It's going to be hot.
No, but you're gonna remember not to stoke it.
Okay. So obviously putting afer on it, right, is not something that has a practical effect. There's something conceptual going on here. If you guys did the Rambam, what does the Rambam say? What does it do? Hesek hadas. Okay. But that's not enough of an answer. We got to define how that works. Okay. But the second question is, which Avi hinted to, is well, there's two methods. Chazal are telling you there's two ways you're able to modify the fuel source. One is remove the fuel source. The other one is cover it. So what's funny about that?
Why two?
There's a big difference.
What is the difference?
Well, why two? And there's a big difference between the two. Huge, right? In fact, if anything, but nothing. Okay, so one thing you could just say is, what did Chazal just say? Get rid of it all. Then you solve your problem, right? They didn't. Okay, but you can ask a better question than that. Do you need both?
No.
Which one could you learn one from the other one? Which one?
If you could cover it, I'll
If you can, right? If you can cover it. Whereas if covering works, then Kal V'chomer removing it. So why? Yeah, really? Tell me this. What the Mishnah is telling you is that there's two categories, there's two ways that the rabbi said you can accomplish this objective. One is removing the coals, the other one is covering with ashes. And the question you have to start thinking about, is what do you need both for? In other words, shouldn't it be sufficient just to say I can cover it and I can logically deduce from covering it that certainly if I removed it, it'll be okay. But the Gemara, you'll see, the Gemara doesn't like that. The Gemara wants to tell you there are two separate methods, even though one logically can be derived from the other. He was up. So it says Beis Shammai.
Beis Shammai Omrim Chamin Abalo Tavshil.
Beis Hillel Omrim.
Beis Hillel Omrim Chamin B'Tavshil.
Okay, second statement. So Beis Shammai holds. Now let's assume we're learning right now. What do you think we're doing right now? Is this Shahir or Chazara? It's unclear. You'll see.
We said we're learning Shia.
Right, but this is where things get a little weird. Well, okay, fine. Let's assume it's Shahir. So what's Beis Shammai saying? I can't. Beis Shammai is very restrictive. I can put hot water on, but I can't put food. Okay? Whereas Beis Hillel holds.
You can also put both.
Correct. Okay? You'll see it's not Shahia, but whatever. Okay, and what's the third statement?
Beis Shammai Omrim Notlin Abalo Machzirin. Beis Hillel Omrim Af Machzirin.
Okay, what does that mean?
Beis Shammai says that you can take away the food off the flame, but you can also but you cannot return it back to the flame.
Okay.
Beis Hillel says you can also return it back.
Af Machzirin. Even Machzirin. Okay? Okay, so we said, what's Chazara? Chazara means what?
Return it Shabbos.
Say it again?
Taking it off.
Right. So if you're Medayik in the Mishnah, not Psak, relax. If you're Medayik in the Mishnah sounds like it's saying what? Even that Beis Hillel would agree with.
Chazara is a piece of sheet that it has to already been put on the flame in order to.
That's good. That's very good. But you're like 7 spars ahead. That's good. Keep that in mind. That's a good point. But just facts. I just want to get the facts down. Nolan, the Ein Machzirin versus Nolan Af Machzirin, which means that you can, and you'll see the Gemara deduces this. According to Beis Hillel, the food is on the flame. It was on the flame on Erev Shabbos. It's still there on Shabbos itself. Okay. Now, let's differentiate between Shkia and Chazara. It's Friday night. Okay. Shkia is at 6 o'clock. Okay. I put my food on at 5 o'clock. I want to eat at 7. Okay. What do? I take the food off. Now, what's that? When I take the food off the HaKirah, what have I now done? Natila, Notman. I've taken it off. Okay. Af Machzirin would imply what? As long as I've done Natila, I can still put it back.
But if I never did Natila, I can't put it back.
Well, never Natila, it's always going to be the thing. No, versus what would you do other than Natila? Or I take it off and then what? Put it somewhere else. Okay. Af Machzirin means I take it off, and what do? It's in my hand. Well, I mean, I'm cheating ahead, but it's in my hand.
You never put it down.
Never put it down. Put it back onto Chazar. So what you're saying is more right than you even realize at this point, only because I know the information ahead of time, is that you'll see there's something about Shehi and Chazara that make them related to each other. They're not necessarily separate phenomena. Okay? But what is the problem with Chazara? Look at Rashi. Look at Rashi where he says Avalo Tavshil.
Avalo Tavshil.
I'm sorry, Lo Machzirin. Next Rashi. Lo Machzirin.
Lo Machzirin. The Shabbos.
The Mechzi Kimivashel. Okay. So why can't you do Chazar on Shabbos? Mechzi Kibishel. Okay. I'll give a halach l'mais example of Mechzi Kibishel because I'm allowed to do that, but you can't ask me halach l'mais questions. So let's say you have a chalent. You want to have a chalent on Shabbos. Okay. An example of Mechzi Kibishel, not this Chazar example, but a classic example is I take off the top and I stir the chalent. Okay. Have I done anything wrong from my perspective? No. But it looks like
You're cooking.
I'm cooking. Okay. Here, why is Chazara look like Bishul?
You're putting it on.
Right. I don't know what the state the food's in. Right. What do I know? I'm the observer. I look at you putting food on a fire. I'm like, wow, that guy's cooking on Shabbos. It's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So that's why it would appear you can't do Chazara. It's Mechzi Kibishul. Mechzi Kibishul is different than Shemayach as a Gechalim. The problem of Shehiyah is got to keep the facts straight. Shehiyah is a problem in stoking the coals. Chazara is not a problem stoking the coals. It's a problem in it looks like Bishul. Okay? Look at the next Rashi. Lo Af Machzirin. Hoil.
Af Machzirin. Hoil Begar.
What's Rashi saying? This is the kicker. This is another important point.
Since you sweated.
Close.
Since you willfully
Remember I said garf and katam are synonymous, okay? What's he saying? What does chazara require?
You're-
Always.
Oh, to lighten the flame? Like,
No.
What?
What? Is that chazara is more stringent than shahiyah,
Right.
okay? In terms of problems. Okay, so now, let's take a step back before you jump into the Gemara, okay? Okay, according to the Mishnah, okay, shahiyah. What is shahiyah? Shahiyah means I'm putting food on the blech or the flame, Erev Shabbos, okay? And that food is edible, okay? As long as it's, at this point, as long as it's covered with ash, let's use that for now, katam, right? It's okay for me to do that, right? Okay. Chazar is what? Taking something, cooked food, right? At least edible food, and putting it back on the flame.
So shahir does require that.
At this point, we're going to go. The Gemara is going to. Hanani is going to say no, but I'm learning the Mishnah the easiest way to learn it. Chazara, right? What's the problem with chazara? Maxi kabishal. Chazara can only be done as long as it's gar for katam, and it's a machlok is whether you can do chazara or not. That's the recap. Okay? Yeah.
If you forgot it, anyway, you might have serious question. Hi lo yitain.
Oh. The Mishnah says lo yitain ach yigrof. Okay, so you can't put the food on the kira until you do. Let's again gar for katam. Is everyone comfortable with me just saying gar for katam?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't put the food on Erev Shabbos on the kira unless it's gar for katam. Okay. What does lo yitain mean? Okay. What's it referring to? The Gemara says maybe you'll say
What?
lo yachzerhu, meaning what?
You won't return it.
You can't do chazara unless it's gar from katam. Whereas shahiyah, even if it's not gar from katam, you'd be able to do. Okay, and who's that like? You go to aval lishos mishayin.
Aval lishos mishayin. Afal pi she'enu garo.
Ve'enu katam. Umani.
Umani
chananya here.
Chananya here.
Sanya.
It's Tanya.
Chananya. That's his name.
Chananya Omer. Koshu Kamacham.
Ben Drusai.
Drusai. Mutter.
Lishhoso.
Al Kavekir.
Alpha
Alpha. She'enu Garu. Ve'enu Katam.
Stop. Okay, so this is our first machlokas. Okay, so it goes like this. I know the other side's not presented, but I know the other side.
What is Dilma? Oh yeah, old Dilma Lush.
We'll get to the Dilma in a second. Hold on.
That is the other side.
No, I'm saying the Chachamim against Hanania.
Well, that would be the
Mishnah.
The Mishnah is a Chachamim looking at the other side. Yeah, the other side has
Yeah, but the Gemara never says that. I mean, you have to deduce that. Okay, fine. Let's read the old Dilma, and then I'll write it up on the board. Okay, this gets so annoying. All right, old Dilma, or maybe.
But Rebbe, I'm going to fire your learn.
Ujama, or maybe. The show is not.
So maybe the Mishnah is talking about shahiyah. Okay, meaning when it says lo yitain, it's referring to shahiyah, and therefore what?
The Igar of the Katam.
In
Yes.
elo
Elo.
lo v'kol shekain
Koshikain.
la'achzer. So if it's talking about shahiyah, so the Mishnah is qualifying that as long as it's gar from katam, it's okay. If it's not gar from katam, it's not okay. And kol shekain by what? Chazara, telling you what? The chazara is more machmir. Okay, one more time. So the case is it's Erev Shabbos. I have everyone has the same facts. I have a steak that is now rare, which means it's now edible. Okay, what do I want to do? I want to heat it up to eat on Shabbos. Okay, there's a machlokas. What do I have to do to the fire? Okay, Hanania holds absolutely nothing. Go ahead, stick your steak on the fire. It's Erev Shabbos. There's no isser, right? Enjoy. Shabbos comes, take it off, eat it. You're good to go. Okay. Whereas according to the Chachamim, if it's not,
Ben Drusa steak?
yeah, it's always machav and jusai.
I mean, less than that for sure would be a problem.
Well, I don't want to say yes because according to the Rambam, if it's raw, you're allowed to put it on right before Shabbos.
So if it's
Okay.
talking about Chazara.
But let's make it simple. Machav
so far.
yeah. What?
If it's talking about Chazara.
Right. Okay. Good. So what is the Isser Bishul on Shabbos? What does Bishul mean? No, that's baking.
From edible. Making something edible.
Okay, so bishul means to render food that's unedible. I don't care what that unedible means, so don't ask me. But it's not edible right now, raw steak, and you're making it edible. Okay, by using heat as your process. Okay. Midoraisa, could shahiyah or chazara ever be a problem? Why not? Because they're cooked. Right, they're already cooked. That's just edible. They already have the status of mevushal. These things are cooked, right? It's cooked food. They're mevushal already. Okay? So what are Chazal are saying?
You say that.
Midoraisa? Because once it's a rare steak, it's cooked.
I mean, once Malcolm enters.
Right.
But she would be a
You
problem
can't-
if it's raw.
It's not, no, if it's raw, is it shahiyah? No, it's bishul.
But I'm for Shabbos.
But even before Shabbos. Let's say even before Shabbos.
You call it bishul.
We call it bishul. Okay? In other words, the point is that midoraisa, the Torah would never have such a consideration for a simple reason, because the food's already cooked. As far as we're concerned, bishul in its purest form applies to the food. Clear? Okay? So what is shahiyah? What is shahiyah then? Shahiyah is telling us what? What is shahiyah then? What are Chazal worried about?
It'll look like you're
Oh,
cooking.
okay, so well, that's Chazara. Forget Chazara for now. Let's just deal with Shahiyah. Okay, Shahiyah Shem Yachda as a Gechalim. Okay, what that's a problem in what? What it is? What's the malacha, by the way? You're not worried about cooking it. You can't tell me that the concern of a guy stoking the coals is a problem of bishul. Why is that a problem of bishul?
Because there's no bishul now.
Exactly, bishul can't apply to the food. So what? So just factually, what is it? It's havara. Yeah, you're stoking the flames is a problem in havara. Okay. But the thing is like this. I'll give you one more step, and then I think you can define the machlokas, okay? But there's something about shahiyah that if a guy goes ahead and puts, even though halachically speaking, it may not be technically bishul, but there's something about the fact that this guy's heating up food before Shabbos that Chazal are concerned. That he's going to go ahead and be involved somehow in the process. Havara, the isser, that's the expression of it, but there's something cooking-ish about it that concerned Chazal, okay? So Hananiah says, there is no concern, right? Because what does Hananiah say? Stick that steak on the fire. Don't even worry about it. I'm not worried about Shem Yachda, right? Whereas according to the Chachamim, I am worried about Shem Yachda. What's the problem with that kind of machlokas? It's so quiet. It sounds mitzias, right? How can you have a machlokas about whether they have a gzera or not? It's very bad. You can never have a machlokas in Gemara about. Well, I shouldn't say never. It's rare to have a real machlokas factually about whether a gzera existed or not. It's more the question is, should such a gzera exist or not? Yeah. So on the one hand, we know, halachically speaking, you can't tell me this is bishul. But practically, right, the fact that guy's going to, what's Chazal's concern, Shem Yachta as a Gechalim, what's going to happen? Because how's he relating to it? Thank you. It's not bishul, but in his framework, how does he relate to it?
Yeah.
Practically speaking, it's cooking. As far as he's concerned, if you take a rare steak before Shabbos and put it on a fire, what are you doing? You're cooking it. Fine. You want to tell me that in the abstract realm it's considered edible, so therefore it's not halachically cooking? Great. But on a practical level, you're cooking it. How do I know that to be true? Because what are you going to do? You're going to stoke the coals. Okay. That's it? Okay, good. So according to Chachamim, practically speaking, a person relates to it as if he's cooking, right? Okay. So that's the case. So kind of what Tamir was saying, okay? Not a tolda, but it's bishul. It is bishul, except that what? It's like bishul. What's shahiyah? Shahiyah is bishul lacking. No. No. It's shahiyah is really right. Shahiyah is bishul, and so practically speaking, it's cooking. You're just lacking a component because the food's edible. Edibility, according to Chachamim, is a component of the whole process. So Chazal invented something called shahiyah. What is shahiyah? Shahiyah means you're cooking. That's why you're right about it, told in some sense, but it's just not an isser though. You know what I mean? But you're cooking. You are cooking. It's just that this kind of cooking is cooking of a food that's edible. They took shahiyah and they said, okay, we're going to create like a subcategory called shahiyah. It's not bishul because the food's cooked. It has all the trappings of bishul, all the trappings. I mean, fire, coals, right? Wants the food to be good. All those trappings, except for one thing. The food happens to be edible already. That's why it's a second cat. It's like a subcategory of bishul. That's according to Chachamim. Whereas according to Hananiah, he's going to say no. What is shahiyah?
It's just making the food warmer. So
Well, that's kind of like what he was saying before. It's not a subcategory of bishul. Rather, what is it?
just keeping the food warm.
If it's
Not
no
making it any better.
Well, it's a completely different phenomenon. Shahiyah has nothing to do with bishul, right? Because where's Shem Yachta emerge from? Shem Yachta emerges from what? No, that's what it leads to. What does it emerge from? Bishul, right? Since the chashash of Shem Yachta comes from bishul, right? Once bishul's been accomplished, according to Hananiah, now what? There's nothing to worry about anymore, right? In other words, the chashash can only emerge from bishul itself. So the Chachamim say that, the Chachamim themselves say, what do Chazal do? They created an alternate, like a secondary type of bishul called shahiyah, right? Which is mutter to do, right? Which we'll get to how it's mutter, but it's mutter to do as long as you do garf and katam. right? Why? Because if you don't do garf and katam, what's the problem? Why is it shem yachteh? Because there's all the trappings of bishul. It's just lacking one component, which is the fact that the food is edible. But the Rabbanan can do something like that. Whereas according to Hananya, he says no. Hananya says that once the food is edible, right, the only way there's a chashash of shem yachteh, it emerges from the idea of bishul itself. And you can't tell me that halachically speaking, there's any cooking taking place here. Even though it certainly looks like cooking, but you can't tell me this process is bishul in any way, shape, or form. What is Hesach Hadas going to do? What does it do? If I put, we're not going to get into how it works yet. That will take up probably tomorrow. But by me putting ashes over these embers, okay, Rambam says, what has it now done?
Because there's never an issue of bishul, it's only an issue of all the other traps is bishul.
Right. So exactly. So by me doing this action, so now what have I done? In my framework, I've removed all the trappings of bishul. I'm not relating it to as bishul anymore.
It's impossible.
Now, why aren't you relating it to bishul anymore? That we're going to discuss at a future date. But according to this way of learning, once I put the ashes on, the Hesach Hadas is I no longer will relate to it as normative bishul. So it fits in perfectly. But the Chacham's chashash was that since shahiyah is really a subcategory of bishul, so a guy's going to relate to it. And it makes a lot of sense if you think about it, because shahiyah certainly seems like cooking. Very cooking-ish, right? I mean, I'm putting food on fire. I mean, what's not cooking about that? Just because of a technicality that halachically speaking, the thing has a property of edible, who cares, right? But the Chanani says, 1 second. Once you've done halachic bishul, you can't do more halachic bishul. You bishuled it. It's been bishuled. So that's it. There's nothing more to do, right? So the Chanani would say the chashash only is attached to the food, the chefza, not to the fuel source.
Ignoring the problem.